1, 2, cha-cha-cha. Welcome to Phonogenics 101. We have reached the end of the Madonna discussion series.
Kidding.
This is the 15th Madonna episode. I was doing the Phonogenics in person in Tampa for many years. It was just a group of us that would meet in person, and everyone would just discuss random albums. So we never went through the whole discography. But then I started Phonogenics Phase 2, the podcast. I remember sitting in a coffee shop, and I said I'm going to do Stevie Nicks, Madonna, Prince, and Joni Mitchell for my first 4 series. So I finished off Stevie Nicks, and tonight is the end of our second series, Madonna. So this crew will be back. We're going to take a few months off, but then we may come back with another artist who we will announce later. So I'm taking off the eye patch.
Patch up, boys. Patch up, boys.
That's Pet Shop Boys is going to have to be a different podcast, but maybe Janet Jackson. Okay. Thank you to all the Patreon subscribers. I just got my direct deposit today. I appreciate that. Thank you to all the YouTube subscribers. And I get a lot of emails about people wanting to be on this podcast. You have a lot better of a chance if you subscribe to my Patreon. Money talks, baby.
Dirty cash, I want.
Won't you, dirty cash? I need you.
All
right, Madam X. So Madonna. Oh, before we go into the album, let's introduce. For the last episode of series, I kind of like to go back to the core group. That's what I did with Stevie Nicks, and we're doing the same thing here. So I guess introduce yourself and talk about when you jumped into the podcast, which episode. We'll start with David in my upper left.
Hello, everybody. I'm David. I've been here since day one, I guess. The first one, which was great. My friend Jeffrey, who's not here, was like, oh, we're going to do a podcast, talk about all Madonna albums, and I need you there. And I was like, sure. And I've had so much fun. I missed a couple of episodes, which kind of sucked for me, but I'm so happy that I'm ending with this great crew of Madonna stans and just smorgasbord of opinions, which I live for. Yeah,
and I can't wait till when she releases a new album someday. We, of course, will reunite to dig into that. Yep. Mm-hmm. All right, next we have Jeffrey.
Hello, Jeffrey from LA. I started on the Prince podcast, which is kind of how it got led to the Madonna podcast. But I missed the first episode for some reason. I joined on Like a Virgin, and then I was kind of around until Erotica, I think. And then I was in a relationship and then kind of dropped off, which kind of works out because those albums that I missed are not my favorites. And as much as it may seem like it from other episodes, I don't enjoy talking shit about Madonna, but sometimes it just lends itself so easily. I'm happy to be here on this final Madonna podcast. The nail in her career coffin.
And the one who invented the scale from Madam X to 10.
Ahoy.
We are Sharon.
I am Sharon from Seattle, currently in disguise as Pirate. This whole getup is coming off in about...
Oh, Pyrex. You're Pyrex.
Ooh, I like it. Yeah. So Sharon from Seattle, bringing the goth perspective on Madonna. I started with Ray of Light, and they pretty much have kept me hostage in this ever since. So been straight shot ever since then.
Sharon, you have a pretty big fan base amongst the viewers.
Yes.
mention you a lot in the comments and stuff. So we're so glad to have you.
Love Miss Sharon.
I will be here as long as you want me.
Oh, forever. We're all friends forever now.
Yeah. Hat's coming off.
I lied. I don't think this is going to be the last Madonna episode because I think we should do an hour-long episode about each Frozen remix that comes out.
Oh, good times. There should be 18 by the time we get to it.
Okay. So Madonna moved to Portugal. Rebel Heart was Rebel Heart. We talked about that. And then you started getting the feeling she was working on something. And she posted some pictures on her Instagram with some short brown hair. And I'm like, Madonna she had that like Sarah Jessica Parker blonde hair for many, many years. So seeing her do something different, I'm like, oh, that's like Madonna's doing something different after a long time of the same look. Because that's something I didn't mention in some of the other podcasts is every Madonna era kind of ushered in a new look and a new Madonna. And we kind of did not have that for MDNA or Rebel Heart, really. So seeing the short brown hair, I'm like, this is giving me certain sacrifice vibes right here.
Oh, oh my.
Now, later we found out it was just a wig, of course, but I was intrigued. And then there kept being teasers, different pictures. I'm like, what is going on here? And then one day she started putting the letters up until it finally spelled out Madam X. So
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, this was on Instagram. Then shortly after that, the little teaser came out where she's like, I'm an equestrian in a horror, and Madam X is this and that, and all these things. So honestly, when that came out, I was like, bitch is back. I was like, holy shit, this is so stylized. I really enjoyed the little teaser of the album. I thought the way it was edited, I was intrigued. It felt like she was really doing something artistic and kind of quirky and weird. And I was really on board. I was like, holy shit. This was the first Madonna album that did not leak since what? Like Bedtime Stories or Ray of Light? Like nothing leaked. So it did later, but the first single didn't. Made a Jean. No one heard it.
Was hidden. Yeah. I had heard other songs, but not Medellin.
Yeah. So there was the big lead up to Madam X, and I was like, oh my God, what's the music gonna sound like? Because we got some of the story, we heard little clips of some of the songs in the teaser, but I was so I was working the day Medellin came out, and it was premiering like at 4:00, and I was on some tour of like the airport for my job, and I was like, this tour has got to end because I need to meet with the gays in my car in the parking lot in Ybor City at 4:00. So like the tour just ended. I literally drove like 90 miles an hour to get to Ybor. I picked up a couple friends and we all sat in my car and listened to Medellin for the first time. And that was the first taste of the new Madonna 1-2 Cha-Cha-Cha. So we'll get into the song in a little bit. Yeah, so that was the beginning of the Madam X era. Does anybody have any stories they want to share about going into the era before we get into the album cover?
I'm just gonna say it's the first time that my fandom was like a humongous step down. Like typically when a new Prince or Madonna thing comes out, I'm like so excited. I have to like take time off of my life to focus on it. And this was the first time where I was like, oh, the song came out the other day. I'll check it out whenever. Right. And it was like, oh, like that, what, like either I've like grown up or I don't know what, like I just, my interest wasn't there, which was weird because that's not normal for me when it comes to things Madonna or Prince.
Sure. All right, David or Sharon? Nothing yet?
I remember the video coming out that Thursday at 4:00. I was at work. I ran to the bathroom and was like, oh, my stomach hurts, so that I can run over and watch the video. I was kind of excited about the video because she had so much color in that video. And I had been so used to a couple of years of her just wearing black everywhere she went.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, she's wearing something blue. And then like she looked like she was in shape because, she was in Portugal, living the stalker mom life. And she was pleasantly plump and looking good. But she snatched herself up real quick for this era. So I was excited about that. And then, of course, it's new music. What leaked? I don't search. I find leaked. And I was like, oh my God, if she's serving all this type of music on this album, I'm going to lose it.
How long before the album came out did it leak?
I want to say 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, really?
The instrumental leaked a month before the album came out. And then finally I was able to, I'm horrible. I went looking all over for the song. And
typically that would have been me. And typically that would have been me doling all the songs out to everybody. And like this time I was like, I can wait for the official release. I'm good.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything until the official. I always like buy the CD and then take a car ride, which I did with this album also. All right,
Oh,
so
no,
let's
I got
here. Okay, I have the vinyl, the Madame X vinyl.
Mm.
Which are we talking about the cover art now, or are we waiting?
Here's this, and then there's the deluxe edition.
Yep.
And I was working at a place called Cappy's Pizza when a friend of mine, Jeffrey Dicker, sent the cover art, and he's like, "What is this?" So that's the first time I saw the cover art. You sent it to me. I got it on my Facebook Messenger when I was at work. I remember that distinctly.
Well, I don't see. I'm glad. See, everyone remembers my life more than I do.
So I think you said, like, I don't know if this is real or not, but it turned out to be the actual covers.
Can we talk about the cover since you haven't?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Jeffrey really wants to talk about the cover.
Okay, wait. I think that both of those, I mean, maybe I'm in the minority here, but I think that the especially the one with the word Madam on her lip, I think that is the worst picture that exists of Madonna.
Really?
What the fuck was she thinking by making that the cover? Like, what quality control department did she fire to let that one out the door? Because like that is seriously the worst picture I've ever seen.
See, I kind of liked it. I thought it was artsy. I thought the Madame X looked like the Oh Father video where her mouth was sewn shut with her mother.
Oh, that was intentional.
Yeah.
I mean, it was intentionally supposed to look like sewing the mouth shut for sure.
But I literally was like, so now, because again, I may not have remembered sending you this, but I know what my thought process was.
Right.
I'm very obvious. I definitely sent it to you because I was like, what the fuck is this ugly piece of shit?
Has your opinion changed at all of this album cover?
I still think it is like, I mean, now granted, she's posted way worse photos on Instagram, but at least she didn't make those the cover of a record.
All right, David and Sharon, any thoughts on these album covers?
For me, that first one with the black hair was very Frida Kahlo to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the sewing of the mouth, it took me right back to Oh Father and her mom and stuff like that.
Here's the box set version.
Yes. Oh, I love that blonde. I don't know. It was I like that look on her and the pictures that came out from there.
So now the blonde cover, I don't mind so much, but the way that they placed the word Madonna, like over her, wherever they placed it, it's like, again, are we photoshopping? Like, did children Photoshop this, or like why there?
Here's
I concur with that.
My Pride edition. Yeah, I feel like the Madonna was supposed to be her eyebrow, and then this was supposed to be her lips, right?
But he's right. It's like it's like you had like a third-rate graphic artist like slapping Madonna on it. Like,
yeah, and it's like, and for someone of her stature and her amazing cover art and quality control, it just seems that like she didn't give a shit. And to have spent so much on this like campaign with like Madame X is this mystery, whatever, it just seemed like she built up this whole vibe and then ruined it with the cover art, in my opinion.
So I have a story.
I thought the video for Medellin was great, but the cover art, woof.
Now I have a story to tell, but I'm not sure if this is going to translate well into the podcast. I think this is hilarious, but this might just fall like a dud, but I was at an art show once with my friend, and we were laughing because everyone there was taking themselves very seriously. So we decided at that show that there's a difference between art and art. So I feel like Madame X is the album where Madonna went from making art to art.
Mm.
So
I would agree.
I really feel like she felt the album cover was art.
But the very first time you said that terminology, Jeremy, I may have been under the influence of a substance called THC, and I could not stop laughing. And today I am not under any substance, and I was like, it's mildly funny. I'm just kidding. No, it's fucking hilarious.
Now,
I
at
totally
that
get what you're
same art show, there was a band and a fountain, and I kept going, jazz. So that's a little bit more stupidity from the same night with my friend Rhonda K. Shout out to Rhonda K. Okay, Madame X. Is there anything else I want to say before we go into the album? So, go ahead, Sharon.
was gonna say, I mean, I think so. I concur with Jeffrey. I don't think this is the best cover she's ever done. It's very like arresting. I will say that. Like, it's memorable. So she checked that box.
Sure.
But and I totally agree. Like one of my first thoughts was that there was definitely kind of like a Frida Kahlo like reference there.
Mm-hmm.
She looks very, very like stiff and it feels forced, but I think that was intentional. Like, I think that's part of the vibe. So I don't like, that doesn't really throw me off. I like the idea of her lips being shut. Like, I thought that was very thematically like consistent with the idea. Like, she's sort of like, there's this like motif of this character kind of like blossoming and breaking free and having to discover yourself and feeling like, feeling kind of stifled and all of that. So like the idea of having your lips sewn shut was like that kind of, I thought, fit in with the whole vibe.
Sure.
But it does like, I would agree. Like, I think that the cover is emblematic of a lot of the problems that I have with the record, which is like, there's a lot of good ideas there, but it just doesn't work.
I agree.
Like this, like you can see there's good ideas, but it just doesn't come together, It's
interesting, my journey with this album, because when it first came out, like the first time I listened to it in my car ride, I remember it was kind of a darker night. And I mean, how some nights are just like really gloomy. It was just kind of a gloomy night, and the album's kind of dark. Like, there's not a lot of Madonna joy on this album, and there's some kind of like weird. There's a lot of auto tune, a lot of weird textures. So I just remember how I felt during this car ride, and I did like the album. I thought like, oh, this is pretty artsy. I'm on board. Then later on, when all the riots happened, there was rioting in my neighborhood and a lot of buildings burned down. And the next morning I did like an Instagram live driving around looking at the damage, and I listened to the Madam X album. I'm like, oh my gosh, this album was such a prophecy for society. What was going to happen? Blah, blah, blah. So then like a year later, I listened to it again. I'm like, what a white savior. like my journey was like, love it, really love it. And then really not like it at all. So I've had an interesting journey with this album. So I guess any other thoughts before we move into the track by track?
I mean, just my overall thought is that I think this album would have been 1,000 times better without the vocoder, which is ruins almost every track for me. I'm sure her voice is not what it once was, but it ruined the tour for me as well, because the tracks were so processed that she could have been lip syncing the whole time and you wouldn't even know, because it just sounded like a robot singing instead of an actual person. And I feel that so many good ideas were wasted making her voice sound unrecognizable. But anyway, we'll get to that track by track.
I honestly feel like her voice, like when she sings live on the Instagram and stuff, she sounds good. And I thought she sounded great on Rebel Heart. So I think she could have gone without all the effects on the voice.
Agreed.
And it would have been fine.
Yeah.
If one thing were to leak from this record, it would be, for me, would be the unprocessed versions, because I think I would like this album so much more.
So we have
I think so many ideas were really great and varied and rich and textureful.
Yeah.
And yet,
yeah.
I don't think textureful is a word, by the way.
So we have the effects. We have the effects on the voice and the filters on the pictures. All right. And I might come around again and find a love for this album again. So maybe by the end of this discussion, sometimes on the Joni Mitchell podcast, there's a song I'm like, I don't like that one. Then by the end, I'm like, I do love this song. So who knows where we're gonna be in an hour. Okay. Medellin, the first new music heard from Madonna, if you don't count Champagne Rose or whatever that shit was with Quavo. Is that his name? Quavo. Medellin, the first time I heard it, I was like, my first impressions was that there was a lot of Maluma, and that it reminded me a little bit of, even though it was her return to Mirway, it sounded very William Orbit-esque to me. There's definitely some ray of light texture in there in the music for me. Upon first listen, I thought it was an interesting song. my second listen, I remember we drove around and listened to it like 4 times in a row. And I did like it more and more each time. I thought there were some great lyrics in there. I don't know. How did you all feel about this song the first time you heard it? It's a really interesting opening track. I feel like the 1-2 cha-cha-cha, I could kind of do without that little hook in there. It gets a little grating to me. But
I didn't like it at all the first time I heard it. And then I kept finding myself coming back to the chorus. And then I ended up liking it because I couldn't get out of my head.
Right.
And so it did grow on me. It was really funny because like my friend and I, we have like an inside joke of cha-cha-cha. Like whenever like something good happens, like I'll be like, Sharon and I have a version of that as well. But when something good happens to either one of us, like the other person will write back and be like, cha-cha-cha. So when Madonna like started with that song, I was like, oh my God, she's like reading my mind.
David, what do you think of this one the first time you heard it?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I like Maluma. I like her return to singing in Spanish, but it's sounding good.
Mm-hmm.
It was a cute ode to Maluma's hometown in Colombia. So it was nice. I loved the video. The video was like, she looked great in the video. Like, okay, we're getting into Madame X. She's like this, she's that. I just loved it. It was so colorful. And then of course, her licking his toes in the video was everything to me.
See, I felt like the intro to the video was a little excessive, where she's like doing the praying and stuff. Like, I didn't understand how that really fit in to the whole video. And Jeff X isn't here, but I remember he was disappointed because he was looking for something more sunny and fun, and it was kind of a little dark and gloomy. He wanted some La Isla Bonita, tropical vibes with this. And, I don't think Madonna's done something bright and sunny since I'm Breathless.
Wow. Ray of Light.
Yeah, me really. But Maluma was super adorable during all the promotion and the rollout for the single because he was so excited to be doing a song with Madonna.
Exactly.
And it seemed like he really was like appreciative and genuine. I hadn't heard of him before the song, but I really liked him. I thought he seemed like a sweet, not pretentious artist. Because some of these
they met at the VMAs. And she was like, I'm doing a record. You want to join? And he ended up getting 2 songs.
Right.
And he's very easy on the eyes.
Yeah, he's
for sure.
He seems like
so
super
hot,
sweet.
So hot.
Would you let him lick your toes?
Yes.
I would lick his toes with the quickness. I will lick anything he tells me to lick.
You better lick it before Maluma
you kick it. Yeah.
All right.
No toe licking. I'm definitely no toe licking on this block over here.
You see, I'll be honest. She came out with like a 30-second teaser for the video. I'm like, holy shit. Like it just showed her like her heels, her walking up. I'm like, holy shit, Madonna is back in a big way.
Yeah.
And then the video kind of failed to deliver for me for a little bit. I thought it was a little noisy, a little busy, a little amateurish, honestly. I thought it just didn't, I don't know. It didn't do it for me 100%. It gave me like 80%. I did love her performance with the holograms though, that she did on that one award show.
On the Billboard Music Awards, yeah. Which came out of her pocket.
Yeah. All the different Madame X's. I thought that was like a Madonna level performance. I did.
She literally had everybody in the crowd up on their feet. They were all trying to do a cha-cha, and it was just, so I'm here like, yes, it's gonna debut in the top 100. Yeah, nowhere to be found, dead in the streets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't get it. Like,
I watched that.
I always complain because if any of these young bitches were doing that song, it would be a hit. But because it's Madonna and she's old and they don't want to play her on radio, it's very frustrating to me.
So you really think this would be a hit if someone else sang it? Because I'm not certain it would be.
I'm not. I will tell you something funny about this song is that there's a remix that has mostly Maluma.
Remix?
There's like a version that's mostly Maluma. That is the version they play the shit out of it on Peloton. Like that's the version that like all the Peloton classes play. They don't play the version with Madonna on it. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and getting back to the remixes, like it's kind of a difficult song to remix because it's got such a interesting vibe to it. But like, I thought the remixes were really bad.
Yeah.
Like they weren't bad as far as like the production value. They just did a disservice to the song. They were like the dub version with Maluma only, and you're like, this doesn't give you any of the feel of the song. Like,
this is my little remix promo CD that I got to show my collection. Yeah, the first time I saw the hologram performance was at Jeff X's place. And my friend Kim, we were all in town. I can't remember why, but we all watched and I'm like, bitch is back. Like, Madonna's back. It's interesting because she really rolled out this era really hard. Like, there was a lot of videos. She put a lot of investment and time into this album. So I loved it for so much. And then it just lost. I don't know. I guess as we get further into discussion, I'll figure out where I lost my interest, because I was really into it for a while when it came out.
Well, I mean, part of it too is, can anybody here, and everybody here probably paid more attention than most people, can anyone here explain the concept?
Of the video or the?
No, of Madame X. She
was in her dance class in New York City with who was she with? What's that woman's name?
Martha Graham.
Martha Graham. And she said, every day you come in, you look different. So I'm going to call you Madame X because you're just different every time you come in. I feel like Madonna just made that story up. Like, it's not.
Well, but conceptually, like, sort of like, you got to think about the average person who doesn't spend basically any time thinking about Madonna. Like how do you sort of like, if you spend no more than 30 seconds with a record like this, thinking about a record like this, how the hell do you like place it? How do you understand it?
I feel like the concept doesn't really live into the music.
Right. So the concept, so you've got like 7 different Madame X's. What does that mean? You have like the songs, actually, if you spend some time with them, some better than others actually are kind of interesting and intriguing at times. They don't necessarily, like, I would say, don't really, like, when considered together, really like bring the concept really to fruition. Like it's like she wanted to make a concept record, but she kind of forgot the concept.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I think as close as it got is like, here's a song that sounds like it's from this part of the world, and Madame X travels the world. Right. So,
well, that's what I'm saying. It's like we're kind of like theorizing the concept. Like, generally with a concept album, you kind of know what the concept is. You know,
I feel like she was hoping for a Scarlet's Walk, and she ended up with a Beekeeper.
Wow.
All right, a little Tory for us all.
Yeah.
She wanted Pele, and it ended up with the American Doll Posse. Okay.
Oh, Jesus. Oh my God.
All right. Any thoughts on Medellin before we move on?
I loved it. It was another #1 club hit, of course. And I thought they were great together, honestly. The banter in the other song that everybody probably hate, but I love it.
I love the other one.
I think they work together very well.
So thumbs up, middle, or down? I'm going to give it
one quick comment. I'll give it a thumbs up. One quick comment too. It's again the Madonna's, feel sorry for my fucking life. And it's like, I don't feel sorry for you. I'm sorry. You're fucking rich and you're entitled and privileged, and I'm not going to feel sorry for you. And
someone crucified you in the comments for that last podcast.
I was just like, gosh.
It's true.
That's fine.
It's a spotlight.
This is a comment free.
The spotlight is that much of a fucking burden. Step out of it. We'll be fine.
Spotlight.
Open up your eyes. You know what? I do know when this album changed for me. But I won't get to it yet. Let's talk about the songs. Okay. Track 2 was first heard when she did I consider it an iconic performance at the Met Gala. I thought that was a fierce performance. It was the first time that we heard new music, which I just said about Medellin, so I guess I lied. The really first time we heard the new music was at the Met Gala. She just did a little snippet of the song that became Dark Ballet. Originally, people thought it was called Beautiful Game. Of course, what is it? The Nutcracker, or what the fuck does it go into?
It goes into Tchaikovsky.
Tchaikovsky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of love this song. Like, I think it's totally bizarre. And okay, I met a guy off Grindr.
You met a guy on Grindr?
I met a guy off Grindr. We hooked
Wait,
up
what?
once.
You guys use Grindr?
So listen.
Wait, what's Grindr?
So
JK.
the second time we hung out, he like flipped and took a pair of scissors and tried to stab me. So I had to talk my way out of his house and get to my car because I think he was like a religious fanatic, and I'm like, luckily I didn't die. Like, I actually called the FBI because he's like, I'm gonna kill all the gay people. So like the day that this happened, the dark ballet.
Have you already slept with him after? Like, was
Yes.
this after?
This is the second
Okay.
hangout.
This is a problem, sir. You have a problem.
This is Central Florida at its best.
Oh my god.
That happened the second. Like, the first time we hung out was normal, like hook up or normal. And the second time, like, as things were going in that direction, he flipped and then chased me out of the house. And I was so thankful I made it to my car.
Okay, sir, you need to understand yourself.
So where I'm going with this is the day that happened was terrifying. Like, I'm like, that was a near brush. And that's the day the Dark Ballet video came out, which talked a lot about homophobia and oppression and religion. So I was very like, oh, I'm getting a little bit of a feel. Like, that video was one of my favorite Madonna videos. We had the trans, I should have researched more, but whoever
Nico Blanco.
Yeah, I thought she did a beautiful job in this video.
Yeah, she was so good. Like, I love that video. Like, I was so blown away. It was so good.
And the fact that they showed Madonna for 1 second, just 1 second with the veil in front of her eyes. I think Dark Ballet is one of Madonna's top 10 best videos. And maybe because I almost got murdered the day it came out, and it really spoke to me. But what a haunting song with like the witch burning and then the way she's talking. It's so fucking bizarre. Like, so what did you all think of this song?
Hotmess.com. Visit our website.
I liked it. It's experimental.
Hard pass.
Hard pass.
I mean, I appreciate everything you said, and I certainly appreciate where she was, like, the intent behind it. But there's certain things in that song that is like this, like referencing a Supreme hoodie. It's like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, what are you doing? And like the Tchaikovsky thing to me was just, it was a bizarre, like this is kind of getting to my point, which was like, there's a lot of good ideas in this record. And I understand, you can sort of see the intent and you can see the ideas, but they don't necessarily come together. So
I will say one of my favorite Madonna lyrics of all time is in the song. I love the line, "The storm isn't in the air, it's inside of us."
Right.
So that's how I kind of fucking feel about society. Honestly, I think that's a great line.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you there.
Definitely a very divisive song.
I mean, and I will say this. I give her tons of credit for taking risks on this record, because this was not a record that was like, she definitely did not do, 10 versions of like, vapid club hits and put it, and serve it and like call it a night. So like she obviously took risks, and I give her a lot of credit for that, but I don't think that this song came together.
It definitely was not a legacy album.
No, and you make excellent points. Like, it'll be interesting to talk about this 10 years from now and say, all right, well, what do we think?
Yeah.
Knowing what you know 10 years later, like, do we have a different opinion? It would be interesting.
I guess I'll go off on a little bit of a rant here, but the thing that really hurt this album for me is I thought her whole persona and her whole marketing the album was kind of outsider art and kind of free thinking and challenging society, which was totally in contrast to the way she was acting on her Instagram. Because, you know, you can't give these really artistic, edgy messages and then hobnob with Kim Kardashian. Like, I feel like the messages on this album are the anti-Kardashian. And that's what made me, like, kind of lose interest in the album. Like, I'm all for anyone doing what they want. But, like, to me, like, the plastic surgery and the filters and the embrace of youth is in contrast to the messages on the album, which are very anti-establishment. So, you know, if Madonna really lived into what she was saying here, I think it could have been my favorite Madonna album of all time. Because I'm pretty, like, I'm 47 years old in a walk-in closet with punk rock posters. Like, I'm never changing this life. Like, this is the life I want. I don't want the establishment. So, like, for just those first few months, I'm like, fucking, I'm here, Madonna. And then as time went on, she just seemed very vapid on her Instagram, and it affected my love of this album. So
yeah, I completely agree with what you said. It's something that I struggle with all the time with her music and her image, particularly right now, which is, and also knowing what she's capable of. So that's something that, like, I struggle with a lot, which is like, you know, she has this amazing body of work, right? And she's had highs and lows, and we all know it. We've been talking about it for X number of records now. X, no pun intended. And it's, you know, and so, you know, and she does, you know, she doesn't owe us a record that is, she can give us whatever record she wants, right? And this, you know, and this record was obviously more, she wanted to be more thought provoking. She wanted to be more experimental. She wanted to be more kind of world beat oriented. But, you know, I think there have been, when she has addressed these types of issues, she's done it with a little more authenticity and a little more, like, honesty. And I think right now, the image that she is portraying, particularly on Instagram, which is really like her primary conduit right now,
right,
is, you're absolutely right, is in opposition to the message that she's trying to present with this record. And I think, and it, you know, it's something that I think we all struggle with, right? Because, you know, her fan base is probably a little older than, you know, Dua Lipa's fan base, you know? And, you know, I think we are, like, kind of, you know, hungry for role models that can show us what, you know, being rebellious looks like of a certain age, and doing that with grace and glamour, right?
Right.
You know, because it's not just like how do you rebel in a way that's sophisticated and honest and authentic and glamorous at the same time, right? Like, she's, if anyone on earth could do that, it would be her, right?
Yeah.
So, and
let me go into it here, then we'll move on. Another thing that ruined this album for me was the tour, because I've been to many Madonna tours, but for this one, I really felt like I got the vibe that she was kind of presenting herself like, I have these messages for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the reason we're there is because, yes, we understand what you're saying. Like, don't talk at me. I feel like other tours, like, she was talking, I was with Madonna, like, she was talking with us. This one, I really felt like she was talking at us and almost kind of a little condescending. Like, we get the message. That's why we're there. And another thing is, she would say things like, people in the back are poor, so they just can't afford the seats. And that's really, like, I felt like a lot of the messages of the album were anti-materialistic, and that's such the opposite of punk. Like, that's such a shallow, terrible thing to say to your fans.
Right, I agree. And that the whole thing about artists are here to disturb the peace. It's like, if you have to say that, you're not disturbing the peace.
Right.
And it was like, and she kept saying it over and over and over and over again. I'm like, shut the fuck up. And, like,
do you remember before Madonna learned that phrase? Like, there was a time before Madonna learned artists are here to disturb the peace.
It turned me off completely. I mean, and again, we can get to the tour maybe later, but, like, the tour was just like, you know, it was just so preachy, and, like, you know, and, you know, the other artist that I love so much that turned into that was Prince, where it was like, he used to present ideas and then let the listener figure out what they wanted to do with them. And then he turned from that, this open-minded, great, wealth of knowledge to you must believe this or you are going to do, or this is going to happen to you. And it's like, what? No.
I mean, I'll add to that. You're playing to an arena with 5,000 to 10,000 gay men. I think they probably know that we've lost God control.
Yeah.
I think probably they know better than anyone.
So in the course of this discussion, I'm realizing like I loved this album, but Madonna's antics on Instagram and in the tour made me not like the album. So like now that we're going back, and I kind of then I never thought about the album again. Like I just moved on and never thought about Madam X or Madonna because I was just so disappointed. So now that we're going song by song, I'm like, fuck, I loved A Dark Ballet. Like taken away from all the messaging that came later, the song itself really spoke to me and was very relevant to something I went through at the time, which I still looked up that guy's Instagram a few weeks ago, but I did not send a friend request. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Any other thoughts on Dark Ballet? Thumbs up, sideways, or down? I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I'm probably alone.
You're not alone.
You're not alone. All right. The third song. It's God Control, right?
Speaking
Yes. Come through, Merwas. Come through. Oh my God.
So the first time I heard this, which
all Merwah.
and actually it's the singer from Fisher Spooner wrote that whole intro section, right? And Madonna just ripped it off.
Apparently,
Probably.
that's the story.
Yeah, because I heard the original demo, and it's basically lyric for lyric. The first time I heard the song, though, I was like, "Bitch is back." Like, I thought I loved the people think that I'm in band. It just reminded me
I thought that was so good.
It reminded me of some of the stuff like on the pre-Madonna demo CD, like the Ain't No Big Deal demo, where it's just kind of just freestyling. And
I love that demo.
The intro where she's like, everybody knows. I thought it was kind of like giving me a little Kurt Cobain feels a little bit.
To me, it sounded like she was eating something and decided like, I'm
looking forward she's got like prunes in her mouth. Seriously.
I actually fast forward that part.
So my initial relationship with the song is I loved it. But then the video and the tour kind of made me change how I felt about the song. So once again, something I loved, then I kind of lost love for it. So how did you all feel about God Control?
The intro's too long. I liked the song overall. That stupid rap in the center that you like, I think is amateurish and embarrassing. The video was again trying to provoke and like
absolutely fucking not on that video. I'm sorry.
It was like, I mean, I see her point, but it's like it's not like an organic, like I'm going to present art to you and then you can decide. It's like, this is the answer. And it's like, I don't know. I felt very contrived. And again, a rich person telling me like that, to be wary of guns when she has like a security detail with her everywhere she goes. I don't buy it.
And not to mention she had so many guns on the MDNA tour with the gangbang and the whole like,
yeah.
So, there's definitely some mixed messaging there. The first time I saw the video, I'm like, wow, what a powerful statement. But it only lasted one play because by the second time I played it, I was like, oh. And our friend Jeff X put up a big video blog, being a Paul survivor himself, in support of the video. He actually
really?
Madonna.
Okay, well that's good. I'm glad to hear that actually because
it got a lot of controversy.
Yeah.
But Jeff was one that really enjoyed the video and really enjoyed the message, and he wanted to make sure that people knew that there are some people who are, gun violence survivors that they thought the message was good because a lot of people were attacking her for the message. So
I remember the girl that she sampled in I Will Rise. What's her name? Emma.
Or whatever.
Was totally talking shit.
talking shit. And I was all like, this fucking little bitch. But she's, everyone's entitled. They went through something that none of us, knock on wood,
Yeah,
hopefully
that's true.
will ever go through. So you can't tell a survivor how to feel or not to feel. I guess that's why Jeff ended up making the video, because he was like, they were shitting on Madonna. They were, for that video. And then he was like, look, I thought it was a great message, and this is why I think it's a great message. And he explained point by point in his video. And I don't know, I love the song so much. Yes, the intro I fast forward, but that beat, that disco beat is everything. Oh my God. That first weekend that the album was out, that was on repeat 24/7. I was doing twirls and spins and dips all over Little Havana. I was getting my life. I thought she looked so good with that wig. I was like, yeah.
See, my friend was like, why'd she have to dust off the Jump video wig and bring it back out?
Oh, God, no.
Like,
oh, no.
I was like,
as we get back into this album, when it returns to just the music for me, I loved the music. I just wish some of the messaging and videos and Madonna, who she was after the release, like maybe from now on I just need to listen to her music after we get through these 80 Frozen remixes. Like next time she actually has new music.
Let me just say a couple of things. First of all, I'm really glad to hear, Jeff saw the video and he put out a video in support of it. I'm glad to hear that, because I think there should be a range of perspectives. And I think Jeff X, if anyone, has more of a right to have an opinion than I certainly do, because, he experienced that firsthand, right? He experienced the scenario that she was literally, depicting in the video. I've known people that have been victims of gun violence, and people have had a range of experiences, right? Some people experience it and they feel very strongly about the Second Amendment. Some people experience it and feel like different ways, right? So I don't want to necessarily say, one particular reaction is the right reaction. So that's not what I'm pontificating on here. But
right.
But I will say that, I think there's a lot of interesting, there's some interesting ideas in the song. I appreciate where she goes. I appreciate that she's trying to make interesting connections. So she's saying, looking at the way the world is going, there's not a lot of options for kids. You take your kids to school, what are the options they're going to have with a job? I understand now why people buy guns, right? That's kind of where she's going with the song. And I hate that weird affected sound, voice with she sounds like she's got prunes in her mouth when she's singing that beginning.
See, I like that Kurt Cobain. Give me that Kurt Cobain.
I don't like it, but I like the sentiment. This is what I'm talking about, where it's she's got elements of things, but I don't think they come together. That whole voice, really it makes it hard for me to kind of go all in on the song. I find the flip to the 70s disco in the middle to be very jarring for me personally. I can understand other people like it. That's cool. I don't, it's just me personally. I find the rap in the middle to be very jarring as well. Other people like it. Cool. Understand, I'm different. I personally like how the song, I like that she took risks with the song. I like how the song transitions to the end and she brings back we lost God control, that, the fact that kind of, that comes back at the end with I really liked the way that the song kind of concludes, but, I like the fact that when she starts the same, the verse again at the end, it's more of in a whisper, and it's kind of in the beginning, it's she's saying it with a sound of fear, interpretation, and hesitation, and then when she repeats it at the end, it's in a whisper, but it's almost in a sense of almost with a sense of determination and okay, we have a solution, and there's almost a sense of hope. I don't know, maybe this is me projecting, but a sense of hopefulness in the second time that she does it. So I like where I think she's trying to go with it, and I like, the fact that she and Merwe are taking risks with the song. But I found the video to be very, very preachy, and I didn't think it came together. And to me personally, I had a hard time with it because I just felt like, particularly with what happened at Pulse, like I felt like she was. For me personally, I felt like she was trying to co-opt something that wasn't hers.
Okay.
And so I personally really had a hard time with that. And I think, again, like I said earlier, like Jeff was there. So, if he was there and he felt like the song, he felt kinship with the song, then like, I'm really glad to hear that, So...
I did love like the very, very long wake up fade out at the end.
Yeah, I do.
I thought that was cool. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I didn't need it in the tour though, because she opened her tour with this song, and the delivery was just very heavy handed. The tour started with a typewriter. She typed out like "artists are here to disturb the peace" like 8,000 times. It's like the guy that is like, I'm straight. Like, if you had to keep like saying it, no, you're not, honey.
It's like
a pretzel.
As Jeffrey would say to me, straight to bed.
Yes.
Well, do we have any other thoughts on God Control? Well, friends, instead of just talking about Jeff X, we have found Jeff X, who's here. We're so glad you're here with us for the final Madonna episode.
Relation to Madam X.
Hey, what's up?
Because you and I are the ones that went to the Madam X tour together in Miami, which was such a weird night. We'll get to that later. But
yeah, it was a very weird, crazy night.
We just briefly mentioned how you, being a Pulse survivor, released your own video talking about your reaction to Madonna's God Control video. So I didn't really talk about too much of what you said. So instead of me talking about you, I'm going to turn the floor over to you.
Hey, hello. When I saw her God Control video, there was like a little bit of a trigger, I was like, is she really fucking doing this? Like, what the fuck? And then, knowing her and knowing, artistry and how things take, mold together and just come out. I don't even know if I'm saying this shit correctly, but I appreciated what was done. Sometimes you have to disrupt the status quo and be a little bit disturbing to get people's attention to wake the fuck up and let them know what time it is and the reality of these type of situations that have been happening in our country. And I appreciated it after. At first I was like, what the fuck? Like, it bugged me out. And then I was kind of a little upset with her. And then I appreciated it. And then I was so passionate about it. And I saw her getting all this hate and all this bashing from every angle, including from fellow peers of mine, fellow survivors and whatever. And I was like, wait a minute. They're like, oh, it was disturbing. I couldn't believe this and that. And I'm like, well, there was a disclaimer at the very beginning of that video, and it made it very clear what the situation was. So if people decided to continue watching it, myself included, then, that's on us. We have nobody to blame. If it triggered you, which it did for me a little bit, it did. But I'm not going to blame her for it. I saw the disclaimer, you know what I mean? So it was on me. So, whatever. I saw the video. I ended up watching. I had to pause it halfway through, and then I continued watching. I had to kind of take like a little bit of a breather, because I'm not going to lie, it did take me a little bit into the bathroom that night. Long story short, I bled out in that bathroom for 3.5 hours. And I lost 6 of my friends, and we were surrounded in the handicap stall by, myself, my friend who helped save my life. Thank God she's a medic who came out with me that night, and she was the one who was able to keep myself and another guy afloat. She tried to save other people, but because they took too long and she had no equipment, she's just using her bare hands and the sink inside the handicap stall and paper napkins and cups. She was MacGyvering it, and she did the best she could. And she helped save myself and another guy, but unfortunately others passed away because they took too long. So, so it kind of took me to that. And it was just, it kind of took me to that. And I don't want to get too graphic, but, when they show the visuals, I can relate to that. I mean, we were surrounded by dead bodies, for 3.5 hours, and it's something that I still deal with. I still dream about, obviously, PTSD. And, it's just it's a weird sensation to have been in that position, in that situation. Usually see this in movies, I'm a big action and horror movie fan, but it's different when it's actually really happening. It's a whole different vibe. And there's no words to describe it. And I wouldn't wish that on anybody, especially that, again, I don't want to get too graphic, but especially like in Madonna's case, I did, some of the people who did pass away did die with their eyes open. And to be in that room with, dead people staring at you for 3.5 hours everywhere you looked, it was a little bizarre, and it affects you, absolutely fucking affects you. And so I understand people were triggered, myself included, but then I took a breather, I stuck it through, and I was like, you know what? Now I get what she's doing, because she's saying people need to cut the crap. Enough of this. Enough is enough, right? And sometimes you have to throw that graphic stuff into people's face so that they can get what the fuck she's talking about, what we're talking about, because I've been advocating for a lot of this stuff myself, traveling state to state with other survivors from, Vegas shooting. I think some of the Parkland guys have been involved in stuff. So, all the mass shooting people or mass tragedies, 9/11. So a lot of us have met over the years at different events, and we travel, as guest speakers for different things. So, yeah. So I felt I had to speak my piece when I saw that. I mean, me being an actual survivor of this kind of exact same thing she was portraying, I had to speak up and stand up for what she was doing, because I believed in what she was doing, and I've been doing it myself. Obviously, I don't have the money and power to make a music video like Madonna, but I'm glad I was able to speak my piece in defense of the video and the actual art behind it and the message.
And Jeff, piggybacking on everything you just said, when Madam X, the album and the music came out, I just thought Madonna's talking about such important shit here. And then to have it be followed up by such frivolous bullshit on her Instagram for the whole era after, like, it really kind of canceled out some of the messages on the album itself. And, I loved this album so much when it first came out. And then to just see her kind of descend into someone that's just constantly playing dress up on Instagram. It's nice to have this discussion go back to the music itself.
Yeah, the music and the seriousness of the messages in that album.
Right. Because she didn't live into that too much after the album. She just kind of became a Kardashian butt implants, which is fine. That's fine.
Which is fine, but I understand you feel like.
But what I want is I'm an intellectual, and I want to be inspired, and I want to be angry about society and listen to these songs and be like, fuck yeah, like, we need some gun fucking legislation. I don't give a shit about your filter looking 20 years old. Like, that doesn't interest me, but gun legislation does. Big fucking.
You felt like what she's kind of currently doing cheapens what she's done.
Oh yeah, I think so.
So gotcha. Yeah, I could see that, and I mean, I understand she's just trying to have some fun, and it was a few years ago, but it wasn't that long ago. And I think that she's been very persistent in the past about other topics, and I think that this is something she could still be a voice for. She should still do it, and not just what happened with us, but all the current stuff that's happening. She's always been such a political person that I feel like that's kind of missing right now, and maybe she just feels I've already done all that. Right. I don't know, like, I've done it all with American Life and, Madam X and this and that and the third. Like, she's just kind of like, I already said what I had to say. I don't know, maybe.
And Madonna certainly doesn't owe us shit. Like, she can do whatever she wants and be whoever she wants. But I also have the right as a consumer of the art to want my artist to feel authentic. And it didn't feel very authentic when she just really moved on from the vibe and the seriousness of this project into that kind of like frivolousness.
Yeah. Like kind of childish.
Yeah.
yeah. And let's hope there's a return to innocence.
Because the Madonna in these songs here, I'd fucking hang out with that person. We'd have a lot to talk about. I feel like Madonna on my Instagram, totally not someone that I'd want to like take a car ride with and talk to. Not at all.
I just want to say, Jeff, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine even when you talk about this flippantly, it's not easy. Like I can't imagine that it's ever easy. And just sharing it is incredibly important because people need to understand. And I really want to appreciate, like, I just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
And the other thing I just want to say is, like, you know, I don't know, there's other straight people listening besides myself, but like no, there's no straight people. I'm the only straight person
I'm joking.
in the entire listener base. But on the off chance there's another straight person who's listening to these podcasts, hello, other straight person. I just want to say you owe it to the community to be an ally. I don't mean to make this preachy, but it's really important that this is exactly what Madonna is trying to do. Sometimes better than others, but it's important that we take that part of that we take that seriously, because you know, those of us that are straight actually have a privilege, and we have to remember that we can exercise that privilege to the benefit of others. So
that's awesome. Thank you. And that is true. And one thing too, I'll go way back, is that, thank you for that, by the way. Thank you so much for that. And
thank you, Sharon. Thanks for being our ally.
I know, right?
We love you so much.
So what I want to say too is that it's not the first time she's done, you know, I mean, she's been outspoken obviously for so many things, and it goes way back also as far as our community, when she with Like a Prayer, you know, she put it HIV. The little HIV/AIDS pamphlet, protect yourself, and, you know, the community, you know, is being hurt by this, et cetera, et cetera. So it's you know, I love that she's done all that. You know, I love and I appreciate that she's done that. And, you know, and it all started with the teen pregnancy for True Blue. So from then on, like, all her stuff just, you know, it always involved something political/controversial that needed to be talked about. And then I feel like recently, like Jeremy says, I feel like that's kind of lost, especially when we're in such a climate where these kind of topics are in our face and are, you know, need to be a little more talked about. But I understand, and I feel like she probably feels, well, I already did that, and but just because you did it doesn't mean you still can't talk about it, you know. No,
it's like this. We have to keep talking about this because homophobia is real, and
it's very real, and
it's really real,
and it's still happening. Look, the abortion topic from True Blue, that's still a thing right now. 2022.
Yeah,
you know, the LGBT community, HIV/AIDS stigma, the gun law, you know, gun laws,
even the Don't Say Gay bill. I mean,
sorry, Jeff.
The Don't Say Gay bill. I mean, you guys.
Don't Say Gay.
You guys are in
Florida.
That's currently happening, which I was out there, you know, protesting with my brothers and sisters at our out and in the city here not too long ago, before it all went down. But, you know, we did what we could, and it happened. And I think it's the most ridiculous, stupid shit. So like, if I have my nephew who's in school and he's like, yeah, like, I was at my uncle's house, you know, blah, 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 and he's gay, you know, like, he can't say that, you know, like, now it's ridiculous. It's so corny to me. Like, I don't know, I hate it, but hopefully that'll be changed in time.
And not to be like a totally cheesy fan, but this is totally cheesy to say. I have two things to say. First of all, my last Joni Mitchell podcast I did, everyone started crying because we got so deep, and this one's going in that direction. Like, there's a couple times like I feel the tears coming on because nothing touches me more than music. Like, I'm so guarded and so fucked up and so much trauma, but music can always get past that for me. So thank you all for sharing these moments. I just love you guys so much. And yeah,
we love you.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
All right. But where are we going? Oh, my whole life, I always felt like I had Madonna alongside of me. Like she was always the warrior and the ally that was by my side. And I really feel like I've lost that because the person she's portraying herself now isn't the person I'd have at my side. And Madonna doesn't owe Jeremy Gloff shit, but I miss knowing that artist was out there that I could always relate to, that was speaking the voice that I could relate to. And I don't hear that voice anymore from her work. And I do have the right to have that opinion. She can do whatever she wants, but I can also not be moved by her 8,000 Frozen remixes and her dancing with her booty shorts. It's not doing it for me. You know what? God Control, the song itself really fucking did it for me.
I have 2 words for you, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Kylie Minogue.
Kylie Minogue. Okay. God Control. Thumbs up, sideways, or down? All right. Next, her one collaboration with Diplo on the album. She sang this song. Was it at the? Oh, what's that event where she sang The Future?
Oh, Eurovision.
Eurovision. You pronounce it Quavo?
Quavo.
Is that not anyone is coming to the future?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not anyone.
I've seen the future, and it will be. Oh wait, that's a different artist.
Yeah. I love that song.
I love it.
I actually hated it at the beginning because a lot of people were hating it around me. But you listen to it and you're like, no, this shit's good.
Absolutely, I relate to it personally.
Actually, I actually do like Quavo. I like Migos. He's part of the Migos group. I thought they worked very well compared to the champagne rosé that no one stands.
Let's not talk about that one.
Aren't the people in Migos like known to be homophobic?
Yes.
They're everything. Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Well, that's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Well, I think I
have Madonna working with Migos. I have Frank Ocean working with Migos. So it's like on my face and Rihanna working with Migos. So
Katy Perry, didn't she do Bon Appetit with them?
Yes.
Yep.
I love that song.
I love Bon Appetit. I'm not gonna fucking lie.
Me too.
Bon Appetit, baby.
Stop. Doom, 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 doom.
Okay, don't get me going on Katy Perry Witness era because that's some shit right there. Okay. Not everybody's coming to the future. Not everybody's learning from the past.
Yep.
I like that line.
Really
I love
good
the line.
Yeah.
Really, like.
Yep.
Madonna, you don't need to keep saying artists are here to disturb the peace. Just let the music speak for itself because those lines are disturbing the peace. Like those are really good fucking lines.
Not everyone's going to the future, not everyone's coming from the past, and I love not everything is gonna last. So which is I relate to that. I actually use that. I posted as a quote in my stories and my pages several times.
Yes.
I do like the little throwback to "Don't Tell Me to Stop." I thought that was kind of cool. Sharon, sorry to interrupt you.
I was gonna say this is a rare track on the record that I actually like. I like the lyrics a lot. Actually, I like the it's a very simple message, but I like it's also I actually kind of like it because it's a little dark too.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like if you might not make it to the future, you know?
Right?
Like if you don't change the way you're thinking about things, you might not make it to the future.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
When we had all the riots in Tampa, when I drove around the next morning to see all the buildings burned down and all the windows smashed out, listening to the song was a really powerful memory. So that's why, I need to go back to just me and Madam X without all the bullshit and just me and the songs, because I had some powerful memories with these songs. Maybe some of the darkest, most powerful. And I just need to stay off fucking Instagram and all that bullshit because it's just ruining the music for me. But yeah, and Diplo kind of served a really tasty treat with Unapologetic Bitch on Rebel Heart. So, which I know not everyone here loved, but it was one of my favorites. So I equally love The Future in a different way.
Yeah. To me, Unapologetic Bitch, personal but fun. It's like a fun track, and then this one was personal but like serious. Like,
I love the horns too. I feel like it's got a really retro.
That reggae it was just, I loved it. It was very like, I don't know, early 80s reggae.
Very old soul.
There's like a little bit of a dub feel to it, you know?
Yeah, it does.
It feels like a bit dub to me.
I didn't re-listen to the album today because I was busy, but like, and this is not an album I've listened to a lot, but I think this is another song where she has mush in her mouth. Listen, like she has mush in her mouth or like food in her mouth while she's singing. It's
the grills. It's the grills.
It's the grills. Yeah.
But it's like,
you know, she just loves experimenting so much, and it's just like, girl, it's fine. And then you know, after Madam X, she did a duet with Misty and Dua on the remix of Levitating, where they said no vocoder, and her voice was great.
It was great.
Oh my God. I was like, girl, people were like, who is that? I go, the Queen of Pop, bitch. That's who it is.
I wish that remix would have been better, more commercial, because I really feel like it could have been a hit, but the music was very club.
No,
it was more club than top 40.
It would have been fine. Yeah. It would have been fine, but you know, Misty is in her 40s and Madonna's in her 900s, and you know, they're not getting played. So then, of course, the baby makes the remix, and that's the one they want to go with. So
I did feel the music was better on that. I felt like the music was better on the later remix without Madonna. Like the music itself on the Madonna version was too club for top 40. I felt it's kind of, I don't know. But anyway, back to Future.
Yes.
I don't have too much more to say about it. I love it. Thumbs up.
I love it.
Jeffrey.
Sorry. I do like the lyric. Maybe I shouldn't change it to a thumbs to the side.
Thumbs to the side. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we are going to some shore that I can't pronounce. Cape something.
Verde.
Bachuca. Yeah. The first time
I
heard
this
is
the one that I thought was dub. Sorry, this is the dub one.
Okay.
Okay.
The first time I heard the song, I'm like, damn, those drums. This is definitely an interesting fusion of world music and electronica.
Yep.
I feel like it goes on for kind of a long time. I feel like maybe could benefit from a little editing, in my opinion. But
well, that's all dub.
Yeah.
I love the ethnic feel, obviously, and it's so different. It's so different for her. I
thought the video was beautiful.
Oh yeah.
The vocoder totally ruins it for me. It's like, again, with such an interesting concept, why ruin it? It's such an organic, like natural, like it doesn't get any more real than like a drum circle.
Yeah.
And then she's got like vocoder on her vocals, and you're like, what?
It's a long word.
It made my hair stand up when we saw it live, Jeremy.
That was one of the highlights of a very cold tour. There was actually a little bit of warmth in this when she brought them out and they were drumming. Yeah. It was pretty fucking badass, I gotta say.
Yep.
This track is one of those where I literally agree with everything everyone has said so far. I think it is a standout track on the record. I also think her vocals are like
cringeworthy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like my problem here is like she can write better than this and she can sing better than this. And so part of my problem is like I'm a little bit heartbroken that she didn't bring a bit more, you know? But I think the song is solid, you know? Like part of me like it has like coming from like an industrial like background, like there's elements of this with like the dub and like the like kind of the electronic elements of it, and like for those of you that know Delirium, like there's elements that kind of remind me a little bit of Delirium, like so I'm like I'm kind of like all into it, but then I'm just like, you know, I was thinking about it today as I re-listened to it. I was like, all right, well, if I knew it wasn't Madonna, would I be into it? And I was like, no, because I just don't think her vocal track is very good, you know? I think she can write better than this. I think she can sing better than this. So
take that old man, put him in a jail.
But I think she was close. I think she was very close. You know?
Yeah. I did feel like in the video when she had that wig on, she was kind of dancing it did feel like she was finally like loosening up a little bit and kind of losing that stuff. I felt like the music itself wonderful, but when she started going public, I felt like there was a lot of self-consciousness. Like she always just kind of seemed self-conscious. It seemed in this video she kind of let loose a little bit, like the old carefree, like fuck it, Madonna. Did anyone else get that vibe a little bit?
I can see that. I don't know. The song is, for me, it's so beautiful, and it's so like, I love the drums. I don't know. I love stuff like that. And it was just like the African beats were just so good. And the video is amazing. I love that she incorporated the ladies in it.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and she was having fun. Like she was there to learn from these women. She wasn't here Madonna being the goddess that she is. She was there and she was learning and slapping the drums. And it was just like, hello, she's like the biggest female artist of all time, and she didn't care. She didn't come in like that.
Yeah, I didn't feel like she was exploiting them at all. I did not feel like
I actually
Exactly.
like that she was exploiting them. I feel like it's not the carefree Madonna. It's that she learned some new music and was like, I'm going to force this down everyone's throat. I want to tell people about gun control, so I'm going to force that down people's throat. I'm going to tell people about artists are here to disturb the peace, so I'm going to force it down people's throats. And it's like, it just doesn't feel authentic to me at all. I mean, I do feel that like the parties that she attended to hear the music were authentic, but then when she squeezed it into the track, she wrung all the life out of it.
That was definitely a turning point in my love for this album, is when she came out with the Madame X documentary, because it just was so stiff. And every person she met, she's like, oh my God, I have to have them on my record. I'm like, okay, Madonna, how many times are you going to say that in your documentary? And it just seemed a little contrived in a way that it didn't seem when I just had the music in front of me. So I was not a fan of the Making Madame X documentary.
Hey, I got a jet. So
thank you for the cameo.
Yep.
Thank you for having me. I guess for now this is it for us, right? With Madonna.
Yes. Till next time.
Until next time, are you going to start Janet?
I'm going to take a couple months off, but I believe Janet is next for us.
Yes. Okay,
Spoiler alert.
A little spoiler alert, baby.
So, but as far as the album, I give this album like a 6, maybe 7 out of 10.
Okay.
It's a 6 to 7 out of 10. So that's my score, like a 6, 7, like out of 10.
Before you leave, what do you give Batuka? Let's do the thumbs up. Does anyone else have anything else to say about Batuka? I'm giving it a sideways.
To me, culturally, musically, not just the music, I'll give it a thumbs up. So in our culture and mine and David's culture, like congas and drums and drum circle stuff, like that's common in our culture, which obviously roots back to Africa. But I felt it. And then when we saw it in the concert, like it touched us. I remember you and I were like,
yeah, that was a highlight.
The highlight. So that moment right there for us makes me give it a thumbs up.
All right.
So, all right, guys.
All right, we'll see you on Dream Street.
See you guys. I'll see. We'll all get together for Janet.
Good fellow, Jeff.
All right. Bye, Jeff. Bye, Sharon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
All right. Next. Any other thoughts on Batuka before we move on?
No.
All right. So next. If Madonna was gay, she'd be crucified. And
I thought she would be burned.
Oh, yeah. So, one of the worst examples of white saviordom I've ever heard in my life. Killers Who Are Partying.
Great title.
Great title.
Great title. Yeah.
Okay. So, Spanish lesson. B-Day song, Holy Water, or Killers Who Are Partying. I would take Holy Water over this.
I would take Holy Water over this one.
I like Holy Water, so I'm not saying, I don't think it's a bad song anyways. I don't know, the song, too preachy. I'm not like, I don't know. It was just like, ma'am, why?
The whole I know who I am and I know who I am not. I'm like, I'm kind of not feeling that way. I'm not really getting that.
Yeah, it's like I know who I am, and then she's basically like not knowing who she is because she's turned into like I have to become an Instagram star, and it's like you're like the queen of pop. You don't need to do anything.
So I played the song for some of my punk friends. We were driving around, and they didn't like every song, like they disliked it. But when it got to this one, they were just like, "Holy shit, this is so bad!" Like this one really stuck out as the sore thumb that they felt they couldn't believe that someone was singing these lyrics. And even at the point where I loved this album, this is one where it's kind of made me a little uncomfortable.
I have a unique perspective here.
Okay.
Everyone's like, oh no.
Here we go.
This is a hard one for me because I 100% agree with everybody here. Like it's a weird ass song. Like, please do not start a song by being like, if I was Africa, like, no, you are a white woman who has more money than God. Like, this is not like, you probably have more money than Africa. So like, please don't start a song with, if I was Africa, if I were poor, I'd be humiliated. Like what are you thinking? Right. With all of that said, I was listening to it again today. And something hit me today that I hadn't really thought about before. So she goes through all of these scenarios. Like, if I were gay, if I was African, if I was poor, if I was a child, if I was Islam, if I was Israel. All of these things are obviously not her. She gets to the final scenario, which is, if I was a woman, I'd be raped and my heart is breaking. And she says, I know what I am and I know what I'm not.
Ooh.
And that's the thing. And so it really hit me very, very hard today because I am also a woman that has experienced, sorry, I don't mean to make this dark, but I am a woman that has experienced sexual assault. So I felt that, like I felt there was an element of, if I had to pull a message from the song, I would say, if there's one scenario in the entire song, and it's the final scenario that is in fact true to her, is I'm a woman that has experienced rape. And my heart, I have to assume her heart was breaking, because let me tell you, you don't typically experience those sorts of things and your heart is not breaking. And so I think what she's trying to say is, she's extrapolating from that is, I have not experienced these other things, but if you have experienced one thing, hopefully you can understand, hopefully you can extrapolate from there other things, like that like the pain is universal, that we should try to be more more empathetic, right? Like, I don't think the song works. Like, I don't think that anyone on earth is listening to the song and catching that the way that I caught it today.
That's some deep shit though, Sharon.
Well, but and so at the end of the day, it's like, if 9,000 people hear the song and they're like, you know what, Madonna, you sound a little bit entitled. And then like, I'm like the 1,000th person that was like, maybe there's another side to this. Like, great, I'm glad, but also like, I don't know that does her a service. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I will put that out there.
It's so interesting though, because every scenario is not her.
The
last scenario is something
is her
she's experienced.
But the problem, thinking back, 2-3 years ago when the album dropped, that line was the one that got everyone mad at her for.
Why?
I don't, here we are criticizing every busted line of that song. But back then, that line was the one.
Why?
Oh, here she is talking about her rape again, trying to play a victim.
I'm sorry. Fuck you people if that's, but you know what? I'm sorry. And not you people. I just mean like, I don't know. If you haven't experienced it, I don't know.
And I don't think there's an expiration date on trauma.
No, there's not. there's not an expiration date on trauma, and there's certainly not an expiration date on the trauma of sexual assault. I can say that.
You know,
I think your perspective is interesting, Sharon, and I still hate the song.
No,
I wanted to put it. I don't like.
Fine. That's
I'm
fine
not a fan of the song either.
None of us like the song, but what you said is actually because the thing is, we're lifelong fans. We have been standing her for over 30 years, at least. You know what I mean? We know what went down. So when we hear her say something like that, and you, Sharon, who can correlate with that, it's like, you know, and then like for me, I was like, yo, damn. But yeah, the song is really busted, but that moment right there is important. And the thing is, it's like, that's why I said earlier with Jeff and stuff like that, you can't tell a victim how to feel. If a victim gets offended, you have to let them get offended because that's how they feel. You're not the victim here. They are. So it's like, you can't tell somebody how to feel. So like, that's why I was like, you know, I may be talking crap about the girl from I Rise, but at the end of the day, she has her right because she went through a traumatic experience that I have not gone through. I am a friend of a survivor, but I wasn't in there with him.
Right.
You know what I mean? I will never know what my bestie went through. He has told me the story once. I don't ask him to tell me again. And still, I will never comprehend all the shit he went through. So like, you know, when people, you know, that have gone through these traumatic events, you just can't tell them what to think. You just can't tell them to be like, oh, you know, but it's, you know, she's trying to know. You just have to be like, okay, I don't agree with you, but you are in your right to feel the way you feel. I'm not inside your body. I don't have your feelings. And I think that, you know, people need to understand that thing.
You know, I truly think that Madonna at her best is a good enough songwriter to realize that she wasn't any of those things. Then she put that last line that is her. And I just never caught it till you said that. But I do think that could have been deliberate, and it is good. In a busted song, that's some good songwriting. And I'm really...
I really genuinely think it was intentional. I think she intentionally ended with the one thing that was her. And I think she intentionally ended with saying, I know what I am and I know what I'm not. I mean, despite, I still don't think the song works. But I do think...
I almost want to listen to the song again right now because of this newfound appreciation, but on the same note, I just don't think it's going to work for me.
No, I mean, I'm not like, let me tell you.
No, I like your analysis. I think is great because it's like, it went from I never want to hear the song ever again to like, oh, I'm actually curious now.
See, I just pulled a Joni podcast because I'm like, I think I'm on the fucking thumbs up now. Like, I do. Because I didn't like, the last few times I listened to the song was with people that are like, holy crap, how can she say these lines? But that insight, as a longtime Madonna fan, I was like, fuck, that is fucking deep shit right there. And you had to like kind of shovel under a big pile of turds to get to that. But that's some gold, like, that's beautiful. I
could be wrong, but I think I personally think that it was intentional.
So Sharon's analysis, thumbs up. The song, thumbs way down.
And then she fades out with wild is the world, lonely is the path.
Yep.
That's good. Right. I like that.
Well,
so it's a mid. It's a mid for me.
See, I'm thumbs up. I'm fucking thumbs up now. Thumbs up.
I didn't mean to do that.
Thumbs up for Sharon. No, thumbs up for Sharon.
I gotta. All right, so killers who are partying. All right, next. I don't have my glasses. Okay. Madonna's got the girls back in. She's got Sway Lee in the studio singing Crave. I'm not gonna lie.
I love this song. This song would have been a hit for anybody. It's a great song. I don't care what anybody says. I live for this song. I still bop to it 3 years later. I love Crave.
I'm going to say my one issue with the song, and I'm going to only say positive things, is I just don't believe that Sway Lee would be hanging out with Madonna and having this romantic tryst. Like, it just isn't believable to me at all. And I need to like kind of believe, like when Jennifer Warren is in fucking Bill Medley, were having the time of their life, like those two would be chilling. They'd be chilling. But I feel like, but that's my only gripe. Taking that feeling aside, I think it's a beautiful song. I think Sway Lee's parts and his harmonies are gorgeous. I think the lyrics are great. And when I was with the punk rockers, this is the song where they're like, now this is a song. So, my cravings.
What I liked in the concert was that she performed the dance remix of this song, which I think she cut it out of the thing that ended up on.
Yeah, she did.
Plus. And that was like the highlight of the show for me. And no one consulted me, obviously, but the studio version, I think it's that mushroom in her mouth again, which I'm like, what the fuck is she doing?
I had a group text with some friends and we were trying desperately to figure out like the third line, like, I'm trying to be far away from home. Like, what the fuck is she saying? Like, no one can figure out that line. And whatever is in the lyric thing is wrong. Like, whoever put the lyrics up online. But this is a few singles came out before the album because she had Medellin, then she did I Rise, and then Crave. All these came out before the actual album. And I love this. It was love at first listen. And my cravings tend to be fucking dangerous. So I can
relate. I was going to say, honey, I definitely think that's true for you. I mean, based on everything every single like love like tryst that you have described, it's like like you definitely need protection.
And we're not
talking about therapy, right?
I love this song. I'm a fan of Sway Lee. I think it deserved better had it been given a proper chance. Not to like, I think they were magic together. So like,
I think the video is beautiful.
I think so too. I think she looks great.
Yeah.
Oh my god, everything is great in that video, and it's simple.
She looked like Madonna. Simple. She actually looked like Madonna.
She did actually look like Madonna. I will give you that.
I thought the song deserved so much better than it got in life, but it's a fade it's one of the songs that a lot of people like on that album, and they're not that many.
It's saying the lyrics are, I'm tired of being far away from home, far from what can help. I don't think that's what she's saying. Okay, sorry, Sharon.
I was going to say, this is like the classic example of if another person who was about 30 years younger than her did this song, it would be a hit. This is a classic example of that.
This would be a hit.
I agree.
Yeah. Like this song absolutely got limited by the fact that she is Madonna. But like from a sound standpoint, like it absolutely, like it had all of the hallmarks of a hit song.
Now it did chart on the adult contemporary chart, I think, and they did play in my dentist office. So at least they could. When you're in the dentist office,
I want to see like a 45-year-old non-Madonna fan be like, "Do you have that song by Sway Lee?"
But let me just say, like the funny thing about it is, it's like it's a solid track. Like none of us can disagree with that. It's a solid track. It's like it should have done better. Like. Yeah. Like it really should have, like I don't have an explanation for that,
That's just life. Like, that's why right now I'm at a point where like, I stand Doja Cat, I stand Dua Lipa. If I want success, I'll get it through them. But standing Madonna for me is just as long as she continues to produce music, and she has had a lot of misses. But this was a hit.
This was a hit.
This was a hit.
I mean, as much as I just diss her for her plastic surgery and all that, I do feel she's definitely a victim of ageism. Because she gets attacked for, I mean, perhaps if I had the tits and ass that she had at age 60, I would be showing it too. But, she definitely gets attacked for her age, and wrongly, I think.
Let me tell you something. I am 45. If I had the tits and ass that she has at 65 or whatever age, sorry, I forgot, 63, I would be taking photos naked every day of my life. Okay? Like Jeffrey's like, please God, don't do that. But
makes you happy, live and let live.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sway myself out of here.
Yeah, indeed. But my point is that like my point is this, like, she looks amazing. Like also like if only I could afford her plastic surgery, but I cannot. But like she looks amazing. Like I don't have any like I you know, like, hey man, she can afford it. She looks amazing. Like no disrespect there, but like we've all said, like we also kind of wish that that there was something a little more authentic underneath, you know? Like
I just feel like a good tits and ass are a dime a dozen. I feel like a great mind, as her mind is when it's at its best, is so one of a fucking kind.
Yes, actually, that's exactly right.
Which is why the whole plastic surgery gets on my nerves so much, because she doesn't need any of that. She's got it's like usually like one or the other, and she's got the one that she had it, and then she decided to switch over to the other. And you're just kind of like, oh, because it makes a lot of her messages inauthentic to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't want to compare her against other people, but like one of the things that I love about Debbie Harry is like Debbie Harry has aged like a normal person, and she's still hot.
Oh my God, I thought Pollinator was a great fucking album by Blondie.
Right. Like still doing great music, still performing, still hot, also looks her age, and she's still great.
She's almost 80.
Yeah.
Well, she's had a lot of work done too, because I met her on a day and she must have just gotten some stuff done. And I remember posting the photo and people were like, Jeffrey, that's not Debbie Harry. I'm like, it is. I promise you.
But I mean, like, come on, what, like, let's be real. Like, what celebrity over the age of 40 is probably not doing things? Like, that's a fact of being a celebrity, right?
But anyway.
I liked all of Blondie's last 3 albums. Ghost of Download. What was the one before that? Panic of Girls. Yeah, they've had some great songs in the last 10 years. All right. And I do want to do a Blondie series one day also.
I would love
putting
to do
it out
that.
there.
I will sign up for that.
Yes.
And me too.
Yes.
Me too.
Oh my God.
I know some selected hits.
It'll be fun, Jeffrey. You'll enjoy it.
It'll be fun for me because I know their greatest hits, but not.
There's
deep cuts.
so many treasures.
And in fact, hold on one second. I won't pull it, but like I have all of Chris Stein's photography books in my house.
I do too.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I'm a big fan.
Let's not forget Debbie's solo hit "French Kissing in the USA."
Oh yes.
Oh. Love with love.
In love with love.
Love with love.
Rush.
Feel the spin. It was a good freestyle song.
Great too. I read it a couple years ago.
Okay, Madonna Crave. Fucking thumbs up. Big time thumbs up.
All the way up.
It's like,
I mean, like I respect that it's a pretty like I think Sharon said it. If it was recorded by anybody else, it would have been a hit.
And I don't mind the grills on this one. I think it adds a little bit of character. I'm gonna say.
I'm like thumbs halfway up, halfway down.
Oh, that's not bad.
So I feel like this is where we move into the little bit less experimental part of the album. It's kind of more traditional songs that have kind of a world music feel. The next song is Crazy. She's talking about being on her knees like a prayer.
Love. I can't help myself. I don't know. Crave and Crazy for me are just so good. Like, and she goes into her Portuguese and talking. It's just like, I don't know. It hits me. I love it.
See, David, this one's all you because I'm Team Crave. Crazy to me is just boring as fuck.
I think David can just talk now.
Yeah, David? I'm going to get a glass of water. I'll be right back.
I already talked.
I'm good. I'm going to go to the bathroom. So
I don't know. I love it. I love it so much. I love them both together. And it's just like, I
feel like the music's like,
as I go back.
Never been like a pair.
I don't know. It's one of the songs that I'll listen to. Like the skips are there. The skips are there on that album. But no, I don't know. I'm weird. I really like it a lot. I was look. I was like, I don't know. It spoke to me. I don't know.
What's the bridge of the song? Isn't there a bridge that's pretty good though? I had to look up the lyrics.
So do I.
Oh, I do like the line, but if you think I've been foolish and you fool me once more, I guess shame on you. I did like that part.
Doesn't she sing something about like a prayer?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, not feeling this song.
Well, thumbs down for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Everybody do your thumbs down.
Maybe like a little bit this way, but eh. All right, next. Ooh, I need my glasses. I can't read this shit.
Tom, stop being old.
After Crazy, Come Alive. This is kind of like her world music, Graceland moment.
Come alive, come alive, come alive, come alive, come alive.
I did like how the song kind of kept going a little bit and had kind of an extended fade out. I did like this song. I thought there was some nice world beat feel. I thought this is one of the songs where there's not much or any vocoder on there, right? I feel like this is kind of a naked Madonna vocal. What did you all think of this song?
Not really feeling it. It's
okay.
I don't know. I just had a hard time buying like anything off this record.
It's okay. It's a mid for me. It's okay, but you know, it gets me up and moving, and like as you can see, I was like, come alive, come alive. You know what I mean? That might be the only memorable part of that.
Now I had to look at the lyrics because there was a lyric I really liked here. I'd like mouth closed. I don't want your opinion. Who you talking to? Stand up now. I don't want to blend in. Why you want me to? I like that line a lot. I can't react how you thought I'd react. I would never for you. Front line, I won't stand in the back because you want me to. I'm down with that. Like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in that song. I kind of like the chorus. I do kind of like the chorus, but the rest of it kind of doesn't come together for me. I'll say that. I
feel like this middle of the album we're gonna kind of zip through a little bit faster because
yes, please.
There's not tons to say. Okay, I'm gonna give Come Alive a thumbs up.
I'm mid.
I'll give it a sideways.
Yeah.
And
it's not the worst thing I've ever heard, but it's definitely not like
it's not like, oh my God.
Right. I feel like the chorus was the choir felt a little bit more authentic than when they showed up out of nowhere and nothing fails. Like in the last 30 seconds.
True. Like, where did this chorus come from?
It's like they're late for the recording session. They just got in for like the last line.
Come alive, come alive, come alive.
Yeah, I like this one. I like Come Alive. I didn't like it on the Madam X tour though. I thought. Anyway, moving on. Okay, next. Extreme Accident. She's talking about everything going around in a circle again, and
it's a circle.
Yes, right.
Talking about the circle again.
Yep.
What's the chorus?
I wasn't lost.
Oh God.
I guess I'm lost. I paid the cost.
Yeah. Now I wasn't lost.
But I really wasn't lost.
Spoiler alert, I wasn't lost.
Now, she did clarify this a little bit in an interview, how during the making of Rebel Heart, she said she had so many people telling her different things, and she felt like she had lost touch with who she was.
Yeah.
But then in retrospect, she realized, like, fuck them, like, she wasn't lost. So I do appreciate that sentiment. That said, I feel like this song is a clunker.
I mean, yeah. Sorry, I'll wait.
Oh
no, you're good. I was just agreeing it is.
Like I actually really like this is another one where I think there's pieces that like I actually like the idea of like you know, it turns out I wasn't lost.
Yeah, I like
think
that too.
actually there's something really great in that. The song doesn't come together, and I personally really hate the like I was alt right, I was alt left, I was far right, I was far left, I was in the Midwest, I went to the Far East. Like to me, like she's trying to make more of a story around it.
Right.
Like I actually think it would have worked better if she just stayed with like just the personal and the insight, which is like, I guess I thought I was lost. I paid a cost. It turned out I wasn't lost. Like to me, like that's actually really great. Like that's a really like. I don't need
done that, right?
I don't need more than that. Like I think we can all relate to that.
Fuck yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's definitely times in my life when it seems like everybody's telling you you're wrong and you need to be this and you need to do that, and then you look back and you're like, I was exactly who the fuck I need to be at that time. So fuck you all.
Right.
And you're right. That's all you need from this whole fucking song.
Right. I didn't need the rest of it, and I think she was trying to kind of make it fit in with the concept, or like, oh, I was all right. I was, I was far right. I was far left. It's like, don't try to shoehorn it into politics. It's like, stay with the insight.
I do feel some of the textures in the song were a little interesting. Nothing we haven't heard in Shanti, maybe, a couple decades ago, but I guess I'm gonna have to go medium on this one. I love the concept of not being lost.
Jeffrey,
I like that line.
Oh, hell no.
But
yeah, it's not a successful song.
David, did you have anything to say about this one? Because I feel like I didn't.
No. It's a skip. I'll listen to it sometimes, but I usually skip it off.
I do know it was only on the deluxe edition, so
I love the trio of songs coming after this, so I usually skip it as quickly as possible.
All right. Next we have Anita from Brazil, correct?
Yes.
And it's a cover of a song that another artist sang, Faz Gostoso. Is that how you pronounce it?
Faz Gostoso.
Faz Gostoso. I feel like this song is noisy and a hot fucking mess.
Oh, this was it.
Because Anita's like, I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, no. I was like, I don't know. I love this song. This was the hit that got away. I was very mad she didn't release it, or she didn't release any club remixes to it or video, because this was it. This could have been a huge world hit for her.
I feel like she's wanting to sound like she's having fun, but it just feels a little. It feels kind of phoned into me.
I will have fun.
Her Portuguese was on point singing those lyrics.
It was good.
I remember her in an interview saying that like it was really hard to sing all these things, which I mean, yeah,
it's in a language she'd never spoken. So
I don't hate the song. I don't love it either.
It's such a bop. It's such a bop, and we always. Me and the Madonna crew up on ATRL will always come back to why didn't this stupid bitch release this song? Because, oh my God, I love it. I think it's great. I love Anita. So that her getting together with her was really good. I would have loved to have seen a video of, them both in bikinis naked licking each other. And I didn't get that. And I was so mad.
And she was on Instagram. She kept posting like waiting for Anita. So I thought there was a video coming, remember?
There was, but I guess, thank God she's not with Interscope anymore. Interscope wasn't willing to spend any money on her ass.
Okay, I'm going to tell you all the story.
Tell.
A few weeks ago, there's like this gay club that was out on Orient Road, which is like in the middle of fucking nowhere. So me and my friend are like, we're going to go fucking find this gay bar and go have a drink. And we're like, let's play that fucking Faz Gostoso. And like, as a joke. And then we put it on, we're like, holy shit, this is so bad. We can't even listen to it. So we kept fucking going back to another song, which at the time I thought was terrible, but I can't get enough of it. Feel free to make fun of me. But I think fucking She Wolf by Shakira I fucking slept on it the first time, but it's the fucking, I cannot stop listening to fucking She Wolf. It's so fucking weird and crazy. And let's just stop our lives and listen to She Wolf, okay? So we tried to listen to Faz Gostoso, and instead we ended up listening to She Wolf like That's 10 times in a row. So there we go. That's my story. Nobody cares.
I'll All I needed to know tonight.
Okay, what do you guys give She-Wolf, first of all?
I've never heard it.
I love She-Wolf. So
It's terrible. It's
I've never heard
so
it.
terrible.
So bad.
It's so bad.
It's so
You'll
bad.
appreciate this story, Sharon. My friend Gail, who like is the most punk rock chick of all time, somehow somebody gave her tickets to Shakira, and she thought the show was so beautiful. She was like, I couldn't stop crying.
Okay,
Gail.
I know.
we're gonna talk about She-Wolf for 10 more seconds before we get back to Madonna. First of all, it sounds like Shakira has the grills in because she's like, "There's a She-Wolf in there." So the grills.
Bad.
She's howling, "Ow!" in the chorus. I'm there for it. That fucking disco beat. It's everything that Candy Shop wanted to be. Okay, back to Madonna.
Let's not. Candy Shop is a classic.
Candy Shop is a classic.
Gustoso or whatever.
Paz Gustoso, thumbs down.
It's not.
Sharon, give us a little feeling on the song. I want to hear what you think of it.
Well, here's an interesting thing about this song. So first of all, I actually don't think the song is bad. I just don't think it comes together. This is another one where I think if, and I hate to say this, but I think if it was not Madonna, and it wasn't Madonna, that's the funny part, I think it would have been a bigger hit, right? And also, interesting thing, I'm looking at the Spotify plays. This is far and away the second most popular song on this record, other than.
That's why I told you
Right.
this was the hit that got away from her.
Right.
So the streams
this
were on
track
point.
Was, in fact, it actually was embraced. So she probably should have put more firepower behind it, and she didn't.
Yep.
What's the number one song on Spotify from the album? Medellin?
Medellin.
You guys, I have to go in 15 minutes.
Okay.
Let's
Not
keep
that
running because I definitely need to talk about I Don't Search I Find with Jeffrey. So
Okay. All right.
Good.
She-Wolf, thumbs up. Okay.
okay, we're done here. So
Okay.
at
We
the
only
end
have
of this,
four-
we're just gonna be evaluating She-Wolf, right? Because that's the only thing I really want to talk about.
We only have 4 songs left of Madonna. I think we're going to do this. Okay. Bitch, I'm Loca. It's so fucking, it's so
Done.
bad that I love it.
No.
Bitch, I'm Loca.
Why? We already did
This-
Bitch I'm Madonna. Why are we doing this again?
Yes.
That's my
Amen,
statement.
Sharon. Amen.
Oh my goodness. This
No.
is me and my friend Christy's song. We listened to this right before we head out to drinks and shit because this is I guess we love Maluma, and I love, he is such a flirt in this song. He's like, I know you like those men very young, and I'm young, and I'm like, and she's just working with him, and I was like, oh, I loved it. I thought it was great. I'm delusional, but I thought it was great.
I think it's fun, but the journey of this album is so interesting because it starts off with some really deep experimental songs, and there's this wave of kind of world music, kind of mildly generic songs. Then we're moving into this kind of the frivolous, clubby Latino section. I'm here for Bitch I'm Loca. Thumbs up.
Absolutely fucking not.
No,
Bitch
sorry.
I'm Loca. Bésame la boca.
I mean, I appreciate she's trying, but and I think Maluma does a great job, but no, absolutely fucking not.
What does he say at the end? What's the last thing he says before the song ends? He says
Something like
something
Mr.
funny.
Crazy,
Yeah.
Mrs. Loca, I don't know, whatever.
And
Yeah,
then
Mr.
Definitely
Crazy.
flirty.
even more cringy was the song she sang on his album. That was so bad. Okay.
Oh my God, what are you talking about? Oh my God, what's wrong with you? I love Soltera. Oh
Now
my
a quick show of hands. Did anyone listen to the Faz Gustoso original version? Because I have.
Yes.
I thought it was
actually-
better.
It's actually the same song. I mean, I can't believe how similar it is.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't-
not that different.
No, it's the same song. But it was cute. It was a hit in Portugal.
All right. So next is the song that Madonna sang at Pride when she got that cheap Spencer's wig.
Yep.
For $5, the pink wig.
The pink wig.
The pink wig. She brought out her titties. She sang.
Oh my God. All tits all the time.
Oh, I don't know. As David calls the song, it's called I Don't Search, I Find. But what do you call it, David?
I don't top, I bottom.
Oh, shit.
We know that's the truth, honey. There's no doubt about that.
Facts. I love this song. This is classic Madonna. This 90s beat. This leaked weeks before. Just the instrumental. I was like, bitch, what are you putting on this song? Because I was just like, oh, must be the Ditsy blood. I was like, oh, I just was like, oh my God, it took me right back to being 15 years old in 93, trying to sneak into gay bars.
It was nice to get some Shep Pettibone vibes. That's for sure.
There were some Shep Pettibone. I will give you that on there.
This is like, oh, Madonna showed up on like the second to last song.
Thank you. This is why I needed you, Jeffrey. I needed this moment. This is what I needed. I waited however many hours to have this one moment with you. And I knew this was coming. I knew I could depend on you for this. It was just like, finally, 3,000 years into this album, we get one Madonna song.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, Madonna showed up on God Control, I think.
I mean, sort of.
It just was a little bit cringy.
I do love the line, finally enough love, because I think we're all looking for that.
Yeah.
And I did appreciate that a lot.
I'll do a rendition of the part when she sings it.
Yeah, it's coming.
Okay.
Instead of the Cher voice, it's
Two comments. I like album version, solid. The Honey Dijon remix, I actually really like.
Oh no, that Honey Dijon remix is on point. Oh my God.
I really like it.
Like, was this song like a throwaway from the erotica days, the goodbye to innocence days, up and down sweet days? It's just like,
see, my only complaint is I felt it meandered a little and there wasn't a strong hook. That aside,
I don't care.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, don't need a hook.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I'm
like so desperate for content. Like I'm just like, please, for the love of God, give me more.
Yeah, like it's I kind of feel this way about like Prince stuff too, where it's like you listen to his later stuff and you're like, I just want like something that sounds like the old days. And this is that for Madonna, where it's like, this is like a Madonna song. Finally,
it is a Madonna song.
Finally, it's enough love. Okay, fucking big thumbs up though. Big thumbs up.
Big thumbs up.
All right, we have two songs.
This was the moment for me. I was just like, thank God.
Yes.
Can we make it before Jeffrey leaves?
Yes.
For two songs.
Yes, because the next two songs.
We can do it.
Yes.
Looking for Mercy.
Oh. Who was looking for her? She can keep being lost.
Looking for Mercy.
It was a bonus track on the deluxe edition.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it.
It was like, whatever. It's a skip. It truly is. It's like, even though I love Mercy James a lot, I'm not looking for her.
I was thinking that too. I was like, well, hug for the kid, but
yeah, exactly. I love me some Mercy James. I'm not looking for her.
Cute kid, but
we had Little Star for Lola. We have Intervention for Rocco. So
right.
I guess Looking for Mercy is
for Mercy.
For Mercy. I guess
for
we still
Mercy
need to
James.
Love you, Mercy James.
David
But
Bannick
you know what?
Nothing.
But we got but you know what? We're good.
I'm gonna give it a sideways. I don't hate it, but I don't love it.
Yeah.
All right.
The final track, I want to make a Prince reference. The final track being I Rise.
This is our final Madonna song. We've made it from fucking Lucky Star on the first album all the way to I Rise, all the way at the end. We have done it, friends. We have the Parkland girl sampled without her consent.
With her consent.
Oh, she didn't give consent?
With her. She gave consent. Then she talks shit. But it's fine. She's allowed to.
I have my Record Store Day remix vinyl.
Let me tell you.
Madonna thought this song was going to be like the gay anthem. And it reminds me of, to make the Prince reference, she thought she was making Purple Rain, but instead she made the song Gold.
Oh, painful.
I do like gold. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, all the glitters is not gold, my friend.
But I'm just saying, like, she thought this was going to be like the anthem. And she released it specifically for Pride, and the gays were like,
No, not really.
Yeah, in the interview,
she
was very self-conscious in the interview. She's like, yes, I'm here for the LGBTQ community. And she never used to say it. She just did it. I liked it when Madonna just fucking did the thing. And she didn't say
because the thing is, we got to understand that this fucking new generation does not give her the credit she deserves.
That's
and
true.
It's horrible that she has to tell people bitch, y'all are doing being faggoty and shit because of me. Because back 30 years ago, we could not be out and faggoty. So it's frustrating that this new generation thinks that their savior is Lady Gaga, which I give her props.
Yeah, I do like Gaga.
She's always been out there. But let me tell you, people like Madonna, people like Elizabeth Taylor, people like, Janet Jackson, those were pioneers back then. And they spoke up and didn't care. Right now, regardless if you like the gays or not, it's not going to affect your career. But saying that you like the gays 30, 40 years ago really affected your career.
Yeah.
So it's like, and people just need to remember, the song sucked. The remix was on point. It gave Tracy Young her first Grammy and the first female remixer to ever get a Grammy. So that made me very happy for her. But I think the lyric,
you see the tragic in it, but hold on to a little magic in it. I think that's a great fucking lyric. I do. You know what?
When she was like before this album came out, she kept teasing like the hashtag magic.
Right.
Yeah, we all thought it was going to be a magic. The name of the CD was Magic. Who would have thought Madam X?
I know it's a quote from someone else.
Like this song.
Freedom's what you choose to do with what's been done to you. I think that's a great line.
Yeah, that's a really great line.
I actually love the song. I know it wasn't the anthem that she kind of crafted it to be, but I think it's a great song. I love it.
I mean, to put like a cap at the end of it, I will say one thing that she's kind of consistently done throughout her career is the ending song on her record usually is kind of like some sort of statement she's making about herself, right? At least that's been my interpretation. And I think this song has a really nice statement about, herself, her beliefs, what she hopes to see in the world.
Right.
So I think, I'll take it over Mer Girl,
I go with you on that, but I don't buy it. And then during the tour, this was the song where she went in the audience and acted like she was one of the people. And if you watch any video of this particular performance, when she got near anybody, her security detail,
she was just
slapping people's hands away.
Yeah.
And there was some video that I can't remember where I saw it. It must have been an official thing because it was really hard to sneak video in on that tour. But she was like really close to like some people and they were like trying to touch her. And the security guards almost like broke somebody's arm. And
that's my issue with the whole era is she talked the talk, but didn't walk the walk.
I agree. Yeah. And I just feel it's so like phony. And because
the songs really themselves,
because I think this album could have been so strong and it just didn't do it for me. So I'm giving the song a thumbs down.
See, I give it a thumbs up, but like selling the Polaroid, I know she sold it for like $1,000 and it went to charity, but just the premise behind it, I'm just not there for it. Like it just feels yucky to me.
All right, what's the ranking on the album? And
then Madam X, scale of 1 to 10, the final Madonna album.
Wait, are we on a scale of Madam X to 10?
On a scale of Madam X to 10. And of course, we're just going to breeze by.
I'm giving it a Madam X.
There were 3 bonus tracks, which we don't really have to talk about.
No, please. No.
They're all terrible.
No.
No way she ruined back that up.
I'm not ready for that.
All right.
No.
So we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Just like many other things in life. Okay.
You can't unsuck someone's cock, as they say.
Oh my God.
I didn't write it.
Lord knows I have tried.
But I will rise.
So will they.
Okay.
I'm giving it a 3.
And then they will fall.
A 3?
I'm giving it a 3.
All right. David, Madam X, scale of 1 to 10.
Ooh.
Sharon,
6.
A 6?
Yep. I was debating a 7, but it's definitely a 6.
Sharon gave it a 2?
2.
Okay. This is the final Madonna rating I'm going to give on the podcast. So her next album. I'm giving 2 ratings. Madam
you don't
X.
Get to give 2 ratings.
Madam X in the beginning when it was just me and the music. Then Madam X in the context of all the bullshit that came later. When it was just me and Madam X in the message before, it felt very inauthentic. And I really gave it an 8 originally. I thought it was so powerful, daring, experimental. But in retrospect, when she started putting down people in the concert for being poor and not walking the walk. Ugh, I'm no rating. I'm not even gonna talk about it.
Wow.
What? No rating. You can't not rate it.
I'm just gonna pretend it didn't happen, just like the bonus tracks.
Oh gosh.
I would give, if I could give 2 rankings, I would give the non-vocoder version probably a 6 and the vocoder version a 3.
Okay, Madam X on a good day, I give it an 8. Madam X, where it sits with me, kind of post-pandemic, post-social upheaval, post-Madonna on Instagram with her booty implants. I give it like a 4, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. So
surprisingly low.
Oh, and it hurts my heart because I love
a 10 though. I give all of you a 10.
Oh, I give you all a 10.
It's been wonderful chatting.
I give everybody here a 10 too.
So we're gonna take a couple months off so I can just chill out and do my thing. And then we're gonna meet and eat some nasty food.
Yes,
we're gonna be like a moth to a flame burned by a fire. We are gonna go behind the velvet rope and we are gonna hang out with motherfucking Demeter Joe Sexhibition.
That's right. Are we gonna take a roller coaster?
Are we gonna meet on Dream Street?
Yep, we're gonna meet on Dream Street. And before this is way before it happens, but I will say that Janet's Unbreakable, I think, is one of the best comeback albums of all time, and I give it a fucking 10.
Good.
I'm not feeling that record.
Oh my god, I just fucking love it so much. But I guess that's like 2 years from now.
How exciting. I can't wait.
All right. Well, much love to you all. This has been such a great journey. And I cannot wait till Madonna does another album, because every album Madonna does for the rest of our lives, I think we will meet and talk about it. So that's really special to me.
Oh, yes.
I can't wait.
Till next time, I will see you all in a couple months. I'll see everyone on YouTube, and have a fun night, Jeffrey.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.